All right, Mr. Denny Fetayo joins us on the program this morning as we walk through all of the big stories. Mr. Denny Fetayo, Public Affairs Analyst. Good morning and welcome to the program.
People will be saying us.
All right, so we're going to get started, Mr. Fetayo, with the Vanguard newspaper. And I'm starting with the Vanguard newspaper because it tells a sad story of what's playing out with the paper mills in Nigeria. And you see the big story. In fact, there's a press statement, Vanguard newspaper. And there's a press statement attached to the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. You see, paper mills collapse. Nigeria loses 674 billion naira annually to foreign producers. And that's the big story this morning. And yes, it touches naturally the dailies, but it also speaks to the state of doing business, particularly for this industry in Nigeria. Nigeria losing 674 billion naira annually to foreign producers. It's on page 7. So, Mr. Fetayo, I mean, this is also your industry, so I know that this story hits close to home for you.
Yes, of course. It's just a pity that sometimes government, they don't pay attention, even when Bureau of Statistics, lay down the fact, the number, the data are showing that an industry which was once a boom and we thought is going to dominate Africa, even the world, they are going to export. It all started in the early 80s to the 90s and all of that, but suddenly early 2000s and the whole thing went in limbo and government could not do anything to resuscitate it. Even the much privatization, sometimes when they do privatization, it's like they want to reward their crony or their friends or whatever it is, or just to make sure that they take over the industry. It's just a pity that so much money is being expended to foreign producer, and while local producer could barely manage. This is an industry that there's a market here, is used every day, printing of books, newspapers, sanitary package, and what have you. And I think if our government, they are sincere, these are the one of the sectors I think they can as well intervene, or if you might use the word subsidy. What can we do to revive it? What can we do to bring it back, since there's a ready market? And for it also save us from forex exchange. Instead of depleting our foreign exchange, it also boomed the economy. One is a figure, when you had it, it increases. But sometimes I look at our government, if it's not affecting them directly, it does not affect their kind of governance or what they are doing in quotes. They hardly pay attention to it. But I thank God that it's coming out from Nigeria Bureau of Statistics. Say, look, all these industry are gone down the drain. And those are the things that I think if Mr. President want to take a shot in second time, that this one has gone down, I was able to revive it, see the number they are doing now. But let's see where it leads us, whether they will do something about this. 674 billion annually is so much that can do so much for us in this nation if government pay attention to it and encourage private investor.
All right. Let's hope that that's the case, not just in the mills sector, but also in other sectors. And let's check on the Guardian newspaper this morning and see how the big story is being reported. And there you have it. APC risks internal crisis as governors hijack nomination forms. It's a page 6 read there. And perhaps we can just kill two birds with one stone. There's another political story, if you like, just underneath the big story. PRP faction rejects Abuja convention, alleges ADC's plot to hijack party. That's an interesting development. Okay, so Mr. Ifeta, you have it. This some would say has been long in coming for the APC, with the many defections and the many promises of return ticket automatically. And so this is what is playing out now. APC risks internal crisis as governors hijack nomination forms. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, first and foremost, when we are talking about democracy, where I think most of all the political party should give internal democracy, a chance to thrive. Even if you know the person you want to nominate or you want to select to be the flag bearer, at least make it transparent. Yes, you are started to sell form, or you want to hijack it, nobody could buy it. So where is the democracy? Where is the internal democracy? And I'm sure so many people, so many big wigs from different states and all of that might want to go against them and say, okay, you can't, you said you are going to sell the nomination and interest form. At least let's have access to it. You still have a delegate to contend with who will select the flag bearer of any political party in their various states. But I think they should make it open. And since they said it's part of the fund from there that they are going to use to run their campaign, what have you. But hijacking it is only going to, they are risking internal crisis. People will be taking them to court. They still have all of that to deal with if they should go through this route. But if they want to make sense of it, it's just to make sure that it's made open. Let every one of them obtain their form. Then you can then begin to go maybe from one political leader, from one caucuses, another, tell your campaign, tell them what you are going to do different. If you think the sitting governor or the outgoing governor has not done well, or where they have done well, praise them. So they should give internal democracy a chance to reign. But if they should say that it's the governor that can determine who buy nomination for, then it's just like an imminent crisis waiting to explode or wait. Then also you talk about PRP faction, rejection of Abuja Convention. Of course, just like I said, what is trying to play out in ADC, where those people who have been there before said, oh, yeah, we want people to join us to the camp, to our party, so that we can become a vibrant opposition. But if you are to come to take over all the main positions, to them, they call it that you're being, you are hijacking it. And that is when litigation will also begin to fly up here and there. And I think the ADC, they should learn their lesson from what is going on currently in their party now. If they should do the same thing, they are going to meet that roadblock, and they should be careful. Governance or negotiation is allowed, but it's about give and take. It's not about winner takes all, or I want to have all the position for me to join you. It can't work like that. But they should be able to, if they want to be vibrant, if they want to give the leading party their run for their money during the coming election, I think it's high time they concede some position to the political party while they hold on to some. I'm sure we remember when ACN, we metamorphosed to APC, from block from our current president. Okay, you will produce was it NNPC then, the party of Muhammadu Buhari, late President Muhammadu Buhari. Okay, you will produce a presidential candidate, we will bring vice presidential candidate. So that's to say, you win some, you lose some, if you really want to make a show. And that, I think they should take a clue from that.
It's interesting the kind of political maneuvering we're seeing in the polity. I'm just seeing a post that was posted, I think, less than an hour ago by Bolaji Abdullahi, who is the spokesperson of the ADC. He said, this has to be the most shameless government in Nigeria's history. That's what those were his words. And the reason he said that is, about 3 weeks ago, the leadership of the PRP, led by its national chairman, Hakim Baba Ahmed, paid a courtesy visit to the national chairman of the ADC. A few days later, rumors began to circulate that the coalition leadership was considering PRP as an option. Although this is not true, it took only the single whip of speculation for a faction to emerge almost overnight in what has been historically tranquil political party challenging the leadership of Baba Ahmed. Mr. Mr. Feta, interesting time. So the opposition say they are maneuvering because it looks like everywhere they go, they allege that the APC looks for a way to create a faction for them. But let's go to New Telegraph newspaper. New Telegraph is talking about the Middle East crisis. TUC pushes 50% tax cut, warns of job losses, workers unrest. So, Kola Nkayode and Mr. Fetayo, I can announce to you sadly that oil has gone up above $110 this morning. The Brent has jumped yet again. And so, you know, I said what the analytics I did, it was going to take a while for we to go back to quote-unquote normal. But Mr. Fetayo, what do you make of this headline?
Yes, of course, you know, not because it's happening in the Middle East. Even Nigeria itself is all about, we're like a oil-denominated or reliance economy. Anything that happens in the oil and gas sector affects almost all stratas of the economy. Yesterday, I was coming to, or was it on Saturday? Yes, the chairman of Airpeace announced that they are going to cut their frequent flights to London. You know, they usually do daily that because of aviation fuel, that's Jet A1 fuel, and the scarcity of it and all of that. But it's just a pity if this figure is, is being shown to us that the government cannot do something about it. I think if they want to make, they want to preserve people to have job, increase their purchasing power, it is high time. If they cannot do 50%, just come and say, oh, let's start. We'll look at it as the situation progresses. Whatever it is you are going to pay, let's do 20% cut off, let's do 30% cut off. That to me is what I would call subsidy, so that people can still have much more to do. Not that we are paying so much and nothing is coming in. Because there's nothing you are going to gain as a government that if people are losing their jobs, there's going to be workers unrest. People, just like what is happening in South Africa, but it's just a pity when they are saying, oh, it's only foreigner that is taking our job and all of that. But there's no how people will be losing job, or they are looking at it that, oh, if we should continue this way, our job is not sustainable. Families at home to be fed, children's school fees to be paid, and whatever it is that is happening, government must come out with a measure, and one of it is to reduce when the TUC pushes for 50% tax cut. I think they can do that, or just let's start with 30%. It's a good thing, but I wish our government will listen, because this is one of the things that government should do, or leader face to do. When they don't listen, I hope that it doesn't become it is too late for them to act.
Okay, so it looks like the work is cut out for them clearly, and the work must be done. But Mr. Fetayo, we have to thank you so much for your time on the show this morning, with the insights that you have provided as well. We'll be speaking with Mr. Adeni Fetayo, Public Affairs Analyst. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
We'll take a moment now, and when we return, we get to the heart of the show. Stay with us.